Yes, my friends, this weekend it's the Whitby Fish and Chips Festival. Yep, that's fish and chips, not fish and chips. Although there is plenty of fish and chips in Whitby, but it's the Fish and Chips Festival this weekend, so there's all sorts going on. There's stalls, there's live fish filleting demonstrations, there's live cooking demonstrations from a few different chefs. So we'll go and have a look at them, see some fish filleting, see some cooking, try some samples. A few stalls selling chocolate liqueur, rums and different clothing and all sorts of stuff. So let's go and have a look round and see what's going on.
Right, again, sorry, that's gone wrong. So welcome Rob Green, M Skills with Lil.
Hi everyone. We were going to come on to a tune, but the computer's broken, so it was going to be Back in Black by AC/DC, just to get it out of your misery. Good afternoon, welcome to the Fish and Chips Festival. Fabulous day, sun's sort of just starting to come out, isn't it? So, without further ado, first of all I'll introduce you to Lils. This is Lily Porter.
Hello.
Fabulous little chef. I first met Lily, it was during lockdown, and she was putting posts out. She was only 8 years old, and she was like buying like fish heads from Morrison's for like 80p and making stocks out of them, doing all these sort of weird and wonderful things. And such an inspiration to me as a seafood chef, and but to other kids as well. And so in the end, I got in touch with the dad and messaged him and said, "Oh, you know, do you want to come and do a demonstration with me?" And she said, "Yeah." And you did. She was 8 years old then. And well, you're getting on a bit now, aren't you? How old are you now?
I'm 11 now.
So she's 11 now. So we've done what 3 things together, haven't we?
Yeah, we have.
So, and you're a keen lover of fish and seafood, and follow her on Facebook because some of the things are absolutely hilarious that she does. So you do a lot of like, not just seafood things, do you, but you do food reviews on pubs and sweet drinks and everything. It's just really interesting stuff, and it's really funny. And I can recommend watching the one about tin sardines.
I feel really bad for my dad.
Because it was just so funny. I was laughing out loud because he hated them. It was really funny. Right, a couple of things before we start. There's my book here, my cooking booklet. They're free if you want one. Basically, it's showcasing all sustainable seafood. All this seafood is available in this town, Scarborough, down the east coast. Not maybe all the time, because when you go to your fishmongers, you've got to bear in mind, it's not a zoo out there. They can't just go and get what you want necessarily. You have to take what they've got. So, and that's the great thing about sort of seafood, being a seafood chef for me, is that you have to adapt. If we haven't got something, then we have to like, you know, adapt and use a different thing. So what I'm going to do is just have a shout down to these guys down here.
Sorry.
No, you're okay. If I get out, we've got what I'm going to do today. I'm going to do some king scallops. We're going to do some mackerel, and then at the end we're going to do a real quick fire dish. In like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, a restaurant quality dish against the clock. So it's all very exciting, okay? Well, let's hope so anyway. So, could I have, say, 2 or 3 king scallops?
Jamie, Paul?
Here's Paul. Round of applause for Paul, please. He's one of the organisers. Here he is, that's lovely, thank you very much. Right, now, so again, I didn't expect to get these today. These are, I think Paul, these Scottish. Yeah, hand-dyed Scottish scallops. So I mean, these are sort of like really like, you know, the bee's knees basically. And I'm going to show you how to open them and how to clean them. Okay. One thing I wanted to do today, but we couldn't get them, hence it's not a zoo, is we just started getting, well, not just recently, we've been getting king scallops from Whitby. But now normally king scallops are either dived, hand dived, which hence they're really expensive, or they're dredged, which is terrible really for the bottom of the sea because it completely dredges it out. Now nowadays the dredging they do sort of do it in sections and allow that area of the seabed to regrow and this, that and the other. But a recent thing is the scallops, they put basically, you know, your Christmas tree lights, LED lights. I think there's a pot down there if you want to have a look afterwards.
George is just going to lift the pot up for you down there.
Right, there we go. Look, you see those lights on there? So basically what happens is the scallops are attracted to the lights and they catch themselves. So how fabulous is that? It's not destroying the seabed. The quality of the scallops is so much better because my fishmonger, Steve, which is down there somewhere, well, I walked into the fishmongers and he was scaling them off, and he said basically, because the scallops when they're dredged, obviously they open up and they're full of silt off the bottom of the weight. So not only is the fishmonger paying more for them, the quality of the scallops, he says that you can't leave them. You have to do them that day, else the silt really affects the scallop and they're not nice at all.
Yeah, they start to stink within about 24 hours.
Yeah, this is Louise, by the way, from Sandgate Seafood as well, Steve's wife, and she's very knowledgeable as well. So, this is the first thing we're going to do. I think we'll do it all together actually. Next thing I want from the guys down there
Paul?
is, could you fillet a mackerel for me please?
Yes, we can, don't worry.
Do you want to do it down here, or do you want to do it up there? He's doing it on the filleting bench down there. Now I can fillet fish, but obviously this is what these guys do for a living.
Yeah, Danny from Locker's Fish is going to fillet that for you, Rob.
Brilliant, fabulous. So we will get to cooking in just a minute, okay? Just a couple more things to talk about. Knives, okay? So seafood, basically you're going to need a decent filleting knife, obviously. That is paramount. I got this one from Dennis Cook's actually. I was a chef of the month just before Christmas. So it's a lovely, good, a nice quality filleting knife. Slight bend. It's also, you can use it as a boning knife as well. And a cook's knife, decent cook's knife as well for general sort of prepping. To be perfectly honest with you, I mean I've been a chef for like what, God knows how long now. About 35 years.
Easily.
What do you mean easily, cheeky bugger? And I always come back to using just two knives, good quality knives, okay? And they'll last you a lifetime. But there's one more thing, just while we're getting the mackerel, is a decent pan as well. All these pans are great on here. I think these are Hexclad ones, these are top of the range. These are sort of non-stick and stainless steel. Excuse me. I like a good stainless steel pan. That's about 30 quid for that one, but it'll last me a lifetime. Okay, if we change the heat, that's what you're after, and it means that you won't poach things. You'll see this when we do the scallops. If the heat isn't high enough, the scallops will release all the liquid, and we won't need to seal all that lovely juice and everything inside. Right, so without further ado, will you just get me some cold water in a bowl, please? And I suppose we ought to start doing some cooking, really, haven't we? Rather than talking. Another quick thing, actually, while we are talking, I'm just getting some water. I've got a new range of seasonings out here, okay? These are exclusively sale in the Yorkshire Deli on Pier Road. And today only, if you go down to the Yorkshire Deli, they only sell Yorkshire products, okay? These are a new range of my seasonings. If you go down there today, you'll get 10% off these. But you need the magic word, okay? But I'm not going to say that to the end so you don't bugger off, right? Right. Okay, right, lovely. We've got some nice cold water in there. I'll just have a swig of water and then we're going to get on and skein these scallops. Thank you very much, Chief. Round of applause, please.
So this is Danny, he's Locker's Fish. He's been filleting fish for long enough apparently.
And also, guys, could I have a bit of sea bass as well?
Can we have a sea bass doing as well, please?
But just a fillet, but I'll just take the tail end if you want. I'll take the thinnest bit.
They'll sort it.
Yeah, just the tail end bit, a thin, yeah, spot on. The reason I want the tail end bit, these are wild sea bass. Scaled, please, as well. Honestly, this is great. Normally you have to do it all yourself, but we've got our own guys there. And the reason why I want the tail end of it is because that's the dish that we're going to be doing that's going to be really, really quick. Right, so we need to do some cooking, don't we, rather than yakking on. Because I will go on for hours, right? So, scallops, ideally you need like a butter knife. I can't find, I'm just going to use my filleting knife here. Here we go. Now, they'll probably look at me and think, oh, I'm doing it wrong, this side is wrong, and I'm going to get it again.
I'm not saying a word.
They do these all the time. If I walk down, they're always like doing scallops or crabs or whatever. So we've got two things here. We've got the flat end. We've also got the curved end. Now, I'm sure everybody remembers these bottom bits as well. My gran used to have one as an ashtray in the house or whatever. Do you know what I mean? The bottom bits, you always used to get them. So when we do it, these are firmly closed. Scallops are one of the only shellfish though that you can eat when they're dead. Okay, the rest of them, they must be alive. These are obviously still alive. It's unbelievable. So we just want to go in with our knife like this, gently. And what we're going to try and do, you've got They become nippier, by the way, these bad boys. They try and hold your finger there like that, and then with your butter knife, you're just going to try and release the scallop from the top of the shell. And we're trying to get as much off as we possibly can, obviously. Open them up. There we go. So not much left on there. Thank you very much. Yes, I usually get a round of applause for that, but anyway, never mind. And as you can see, right, this looks quite sort of messy in here, but it's quite easy to get these out. These are lovely firm scallops, I have to say. So this is what is called the skirt around here, okay? Just to nick this off, you'll see that it's quite a lot of a mess. We just go around with our knife, around here like that. And we can, and I'll show you anyway in a minute, but I'm just going to take that all off, just dump that in there.
Here's your sea bass as well, Rob.
Thank you. That's perfect. Another round of applause, please. Look at that. Perfect. Lovely fresh wild sea bass. And then, okay, so we're just going to take all this mess off here, which we don't want. And you'll see that we've got the roe on there, which is like this orange bit there. That's like the X. Now, personally, I'll take that off. There's a lot of restaurants that will serve this, and it slightly annoys me because sometimes the roe's bigger than the actual scallop. And it's not that they're not. They're unpleasant to eat, but I don't know. I personally don't serve them, and as a chef, I never have. You can grind those. You can dry them, grind them down, use them into like some like crispy seaweed or something like that, which we are going to do later. Right. So we're just going to rinse our scallop off. I'm going to take this one off the bottom here. Right, so give him another rinse and then just take off any of the bits and bobs that's on it. There's sometimes like a little muscle on the side, which is quite tough, so we're just going to take that off. Okay, so I'm going to put these just onto some nice, where's that? We'll use that for now. We just want to pat these dry. So speedily I should do this and then we should get on cooking our first dish. Now, talking about this first dish now, if you've got a copy of the book in you, it's actually in the book. This dish, all my recipes in that book really, are just showcasing local, fresh seafood, and really just keeping things really, really simple, and letting it shine. I've been cooking scallops for an awful many years now, and I've gone through the phase of doing things with heavy sauces, this, that and the other. These recipes are designed to do at home as well. So I can stand here and do a chefy dish with all these loads of different ingredients, this, that and the other. Yeah, it's going to taste good, but you ain't going to try it at home. And this is all about getting you guys to sort of try and eat a bit more seafood, you know? So this is literally has about 3 or 4 ingredients in it, and it really does make these scallops shine. What we're going to do it with a little sort of apple salad. You can, yeah. A little apple salad with some like lemon and olive oil, and it's a wonderful little dish, and it just like it sings and it makes the scallops sing. You've got the right sort of crunchiness of the apples and the softness of the scallops, but all with it all just marries together in the end, just to make a fabulous dish. And the main thing that you want to be tasting at the end of the day is the scallops, you know. We'll show you a little trick with these in a minute anyway, as well, because they can be quite daunting to start with. Right, a bit of a mess, but we're just going to get rid of that boy, down there. And soapy water lils, where are we? Just here. Right, just give my hands a little bit of a rinse. Right, and we'll get Lils on something now. Right, Lils. So, what I want you to do, look, Lils drew me a picture of last night, look. See? Go in my kitchen. Right, there's usually an apple. For this, we need a Granny Smith's apple, okay? Quite sharp, green, not too sweet. And what I want you to do on here is I'll take the first bit off. We don't need too much, but we want to hold it across like that. Be careful. And I want you to just really nice and fine like that, okay? There we go. Right, let's go with the prep. Scallops, we're just passing these dry. On here, we're going to get our pan on. Now, to it's quite important with this dish that we get everything ready before service, because we want to make sure that it's ready to go straight away. So I've got a few sort of Italian leaves here, just mixed leaves. Lamb's lettuce works really well. Watercress, rocket, that sort of thing. This has got a bit of spinach in, a bit of everything in there. We've got a little bit of olive oil, some virgin olive oil in there, a brand new hot. There's a little bit of that on there to dress, a little bit more in our pan, not much again as well. You just see sort of like just a covering in there. Right, we're going to get this onto one of our rings. Well, these pans do get really, really hot. The other thing we want is a little bit of lemon zest and lemon juice. These are great, microplane, if you haven't got one, they're a must. Great for doing cheese, great for doing, well, obviously lemon, taking all the rind off there. We want lovely, this fresh zest on here, which really makes this dish sing. Okay, also some juice of lemon as well, and I'll keep that for the rest of my dish. Right, okay, we're going to get a serving plate ready as well. Some nice fancy plates here, by the way, it's good. Right, move these over here. Right, now with the scallops, what we can do, they can be quite tricky to cook if you're not used to it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut these in half. We're not going to overcook these, as they do become tough, and it's such a shame because they're such a lovely, wonderful product. Nice one, chef. So I'm just going to cut them in half, like that. So basically, you're getting sort of like two for the price of one, if you like. Again, it's quite important that they're quite dry as well, because we're going to sear them. And like I say, we want to make sure that we when you sear something, you're keeping all that moisture inside. We don't want it to release, okay? So we're just going to, again, we'll just season these up as well. Just a little bit of salt and pepper on them, chef. Lovely job. Our oil's getting there. Okay, so you get a bit of smoke off that now, yeah? That's what we want, okay? You need a good extractor fan when you're a chef in the house. Spot on, thank you very much. Lovely, just a nice little bit of seasoning on there. And then what we're going to do is just going to pop these in. Now you can see, nice and hot. We don't want to get messing around with this pan at all. We just want to leave these scallops in there. There's no point in flipping it around and messing it. All you're doing is taking it off the heat and losing the heat, okay? So we just put them in there, like that. I'll just pop that down there, chef. Okay, so we've got a little bit of lemon zest in there, and then you put the apple in as well, please. There was not all of it, probably about a third of that or something. We've got the olive oil. These are looking good. What you want to be doing is just looking. You'll see the scallop turns opaque to almost like a white colour on the bottom, okay? And it's quite important. Let's just have a quick flip over. Oh, we've got a lovely caramelisation on there, right. So, you see how quick these are, yeah? So I'm just going to flip them over, like that, and we're just going to take them off the heat. Done, okay? The residual heat in that pan will finish cooking those scallops off. If you leave them in any longer, they're going to overcook. How are you doing? They're going to overcook, so we must make sure that they're just like doing that. You can see they're still cooking in there. So to finish this off, we just want a little bit of olive oil in there. I'm going to go in with a little bit of lemon juice into my scallops in there, a little bit into the salad. We want a nice little mound of this on here. I don't know whether you'll get to taste this, but if you do, you're in for a treat. We just want these little bits of these, just the apple. It's just a wonderful little dish. This, so simple, you know. We've gone full circle as a chef by doing things too complicated, overcomplicating things, and then you come back to basics and just do something really, really simple like this. again, we'll just finish off with a little bit of olive oil. A little bit of zest on there, please, chef. Sprinkle it all around, lovely. And I'm just going to finish off with just a little bit more lemon juice on there, and get rid of that pip. Probably just a ground of black pepper on there. Simple, delicious, sustainable dish number one. There we go, guys. Okay?
That's brilliant. You've just given all a large round of applause. We're gonna. Shall we get a quick picture with you with this?
Yeah, shall we get a picture of that?
There we go, we'll bring this out onto the front, we'll let you all taste it in a little bit.
Absolutely.
And they're going to start the next dish now.
Yeah, next dish. So, next dish is, what time are we on?
Only 20 past, Rob, you're fine.
I was going to say I'll probably run over a couple of minutes, but
Don't worry.
just trying to get as much information out there as we possibly can to you guys. Right, next dish is, we're going to do a mackerel. Now, with this mackerel, what we're going to do is, we're going to do sort of like, yeah, you're right. We're going to do sort of like a sweet and sour mackerel, but again, it's just very simple, you know. Mackerel's sort of like, for me, beautiful fish, and it can hold up to an awful lot of flavours as well. When it's as fresh as this, you really can't go wrong. I mean, look at that, beautiful, beautiful on the barbecue as well. There's a real good couple of easy recipes in the book. If you've just walked in and you haven't got a book, make sure you get one, okay? Right, we can use the same pan for this actually. Need a couple of pans. So we've got one for the peppers. So Nils, what I want you to do is a bit like the apple.
Yes.
Some nice finely chopped peppers. So we're just going to get everything prepped up for this first. Do you want me to cut a bit off for you?
Yes, please.
That's it. And then you just go along that way.
Yeah.
Peppers, red onion. Real sort of sweet and sour. I've got some sherry vinegar there. You can use red wine vinegar if you want. Castor sugar, olive oil. They can go straight into that pan when you've done that Lils. So just a bit of red onion here as well. I think mackerel's got to be one of the most underrated fish out there actually. It's cheaper, it's good for you, really good for you. So in here, I'm just going to go in with some red onions. Again, nothing too chefy. This is well achievable at home. All depending on, well, not all depending on anything really. I mean, whatever level that you're cooking at. So mackerel, I'm just going to quickly prep this up. On the mackerel, the bones will go down about 2/3 of the way down. You can leave them in because they are very. They will sort of melt, if you like, during cooking. It goes a lot softer. But I do prefer to take them out. But can you see that on there or not? Yeah. No? I'll put it over here. Because what I want to do is I'm just going to show you. You can pin bone these. Can you see that on there? No?
Do you want some tweezers?
Well, no. I'm not going to. No. Now, you can use tweezers. But I'm used to sort of doing probably about 70 or 80 portions of this in one go. And if you're using tweezers, it's just an absolute nightmare. So I just want to show you a quick way. We'll pop them on. Just put those on a low light for now. Basically, we're going to run the knife all the way down one side of the bones. We're going to run down the other side of the bone. And we're just going to pull it like that. And there's all your bones in there, okay? It's a lot quicker. Now, to start with, you look at it and you realise there's a gaping hole there. When it's cooked, you won't even see it because the fish closes up, okay, so you won't even know. We're just going to score the back of this mackerel. And this will help as well, the cooking process, but it also will help it from stopping curling up as well, okay? So I'm just going to cut that in half. One is going to be enough for this. Right, Lils, let's get you on to something else. Now, I couldn't get any to the crispy seaweed on the top. So you know with the Chinese, you get crispy seaweed. It's not actually seaweed at all, it's like spring greens basically. But if you get I went to the co-op, I couldn't get any yesterday. And the co-op, unbeknown to me, because I haven't been on my phone or whatever, they've been through some sort of cyber tack or something, and it's like a Russian supermarket in there. There's just nothing in there whatsoever, hardly. So I've got this this Carbonero, so I'm hoping that this is going to do the job. Anyway, so first thing we need to do is to take, it's a bit like a spring ring but not as big. So we're going to take out this big thick stalk in the middle, which won't crisp up at all. So what I want the mills to do is to go down both sides like that, chopping out, and then what we do with this, we only fold it up, wrap it up, and then really nice and fine, finer than you've ever chopped in your life before. Something like that, okay? I'll let you do a couple of them. Right, so in here we've got our peppers. I'm going to turn them up a little bit now. In there I've just got some, literally just a little bit of olive oil. And in there I'm going to season that up. So we need some nice bit of salt, nice bit of pepper. And then we're going in with some sherry vinegar or red wine vinegar, like I say. This basically is a sweet and sour sauce, and it's very sort of simplest way. Also somewhere amongst my mess, castor sugar. Probably about a tablespoon of castor sugar. I'll soon see, to check my own recipe here. Yeah, it just says castor sugar, yeah, so I was right, yeah. So probably about a tablespoon of castor sugar in there. And the sugar, shouldn't be afraid of cooking with sugar. A lot of Asian cookery, they use sugar all the time, you know, to sweeten things up. But obviously with the vinegar and the sugar, you also, you know, this is like how you make a jam, no, not a jam, like a pickle or something like that, you know. So let's get that nice and, let's get that really nice and hot. Let's get my deep fat fryer. Yeah, that's on nice and hot as well. So this is where the fun comes in when we do our crispy seaweed. So that's lovely, that. We're just going to let that cook away. We've got our mackerel here, we're just going to season that up. So you see as we're doing this, it's sort of like, probably looks a bit chaotic, but you just make sure that we've got all that prep first. I think with seafood cookery, you need to make sure that you've got what we call as a chef mise en place done first before you actually sort of do the dish, because if not, the fish is going to be overcooked, etc, etc. So I'm going to use this same pan in there. It's just got some olive oil in and a little bit of lemon juice. It's going to be absolutely fine. Again, this is one that you can just knock up really, really, really quickly. Not as quick as probably as the last dish that we're going to do, but are we getting on the rules all right?
Yeah.
Spot on. Good job, chef. What's your next taste testing thing then?
Sardines and tomato.
Sardines and tomato. What are you on about sea urchins as well?
Yeah.
No.
We had those last year, you could have done those.
Did you? Oh,
yeah.
not for me. No,
Plus
thank
the
you.
wind got up, we didn't get the boats to sea to get that type of stuff at the back end of the week, and they need using really quickly
Right,
from when they come in. And Gracie, my daughter, was dying to try them, so we got them in last year to do.
Did you eat them?
No, not for me.
Honestly, I just can't. I've done them before and they're just not my thing. But you also on that spider crab legs, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good move. I mean, I need spider crab
Not as much
legs.
as we used to. We used to get tons in at Whitby, but nowhere near. But we do get them
Do
occasionally.
you think that's weather or is it just?
No, I just don't think as much of that's landed these days.
Right.
It usually picks up summer months, that's when we start seeing them.
Right, okay. It's strange, isn't it? But like, again, see, this is it. This is the beauty of seafood cookery. You know, you've got to take what you can while there and then adapt to other things. Lovely. Right. So I'm going to turn my little peppers down a little bit. And we're just going to give them a bit of a taste because we're looking to just make sure that. Yeah, that's good. We've got a match between. I'll give you a taste in a minute. It's a bit hot. Right, so what we're going to do now, crispy seaweed. Well, hopefully crispy seaweed. Crispy or soggy seaweed. We're going to find out. So, this is where it spits a bit. So, stand back. They hate me doing demonstrations because it's just carnage, you know what I mean? Right, what we're going to do with that is we just need to make sure that basically all the spitting is the water coming out of it, okay? So we just want to make sure that the water's out of that. That's looking good. That's smoking away. That can come over there. Mackerel it in. You see, we'll try to curl up a little bit. Just going to push them down. We've just got to keep our eye on this. They're going to be ready. Okay. That's lovely. Again, won't take hardly any time to cook. Crispy seaweed. Right, we're on the roll. Nils, will you get me a little bit of blue roll, please? Spot on, chef. Thank you. Right, so let's get this drained off on here. Onto our crispy seaweed, we want a little bit of sugar. It smells like crispy seaweed. I don't know what it tastes like yet. Bit of salt. Okay, we're nearly ready to plate up. Now, if you can see the mackerel there, you can see it's cooking, sort of like it's cooked about a third up, 2/3 up. So what we're going to do is just flip that over. You see we've got a lovely caramelisation on that skin there. And again, I'm just going to take that off the heat, okay? It will cook while we're plating up. So, with one of these fancy plates, would you spoon those peppers into the middle of that plate for me, chef?
Yeah.
Thank you.